Hello everyone, and welcome again to today's video. We had a subscriber that commented and they work at a rescue, and one of the things that they were saying is that at times they find that there's a lot of unsuccessful rescues. People, when they get the dog home, it ends up not working out. And so I told her I wanted to put a video out covering how to best avoid that situation. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So starting right from the beginning, we have to ask ourselves, why is a dog looking for a new home in the first place? There's a few reasons why, if we really think about it, dogs are looking for a new home. Either the home that they were in, maybe they're moving, maybe there was a job change, maybe there was something outside of their control where it kept them from being able to keep the dog. That dog might be one of the best candidates for a dog for you to take. But a majority of the dogs that are looking for a rescue is because there was some type of behavior that they did that caused the owners to decide not to keep them. So, for example, I tell people this all the time. When we get a dog with all of these wonderful ideas, and we can picture inviting them into our life and having a wonderful time with them. And so that way the dog ends up adjusting and adapting to the new owner's lives. But what ultimately ends up happening is that because of the dog's actions, the people start to find that they're starting to live their life around their dog, and that's not what they signed up for. So know that when you go to rescue a dog, there is potential that you're going to be inviting those problems into your home. Now, the first 2 weeks of you taking your new dog home is what we call the honeymoon period. What you do in those first 2 weeks could ultimately mean the difference between success and failure. So I want to cover how a dog sees a new home the first time they're coming into it. So remember, a dog doesn't understand our intentions. When you walk the dog into your home for the first time, they don't know they live there. All they know is that they're walking into a brand new environment, and they only have 3 concerns in that moment. What's expected of me, where am I safe, and where's my next meal? Depending on the dog's nerve structure is going to determine the order of those 3. If you have a dog that's super confident, they're going to walk into your home, they're going to be like, there's no boogeyman in here, we're totally good. So maybe they're, where's my food, and then what's expected of me. But they're not going to be worried about if they're safe. Now, if you get a dog that has a weaker nerve structure, when they walk in, they have to process everything, and they're asking themselves, am I safe in here? And if that's the case, everything that you do after that is going to determine whether or not you're proving your dog right or wrong. So let's talk about that. It's really important that you're not creating bad behavior without realizing it. So if you walk a new dog that you just got into your home, and they are acting afraid or what you perceive as sad, or maybe the dog is instantly barking at people outside, barking at new noises, what you do in those moments in the very beginning is going to either let the dog know that those behaviors are acceptable or unacceptable. Everything in a dog's life, when they experience something, for the first time, starts a conditioning process. So when you get your dog into your home, the last thing you want to do is coddle it. So for example, when we take our child to kindergarten for the very first day, you're going to have one of 2 type of kids. You're going to have the kid that can't get away from you fast enough to go play on the playground with all the other kids, or you're going to have the child that's hanging onto your leg, saying, no, don't leave me, because they're not quite sure if they're safe, or maybe they don't quite have the confidence. So in that moment, it's natural for us to be able to, squat down at their level and explain to them, hey, you know what? Your brother and your sister have already done this, and this teacher is really nice, and you're gonna make lots of friends, and it's really good. We have the ability to reason to an extent with our children. So it's natural for us to want to do that with a dog. but I'm gonna give you a scenario. You have somebody holding a little dog, and maybe they're at the vet, maybe they're at a parade, whatever it might be, and that dog is barking and shaking at everything that it sees. And the owner is sitting there going, it's okay, you're fine, there's nothing to worry about. You think you're making the dog feel more safe, but in reality, what the dog hears through the inflection of your voice and your physical petting is good boy or good girl, this is exactly how you're supposed to act in this situation. So you're actually reinforcing a behavior that you don't want by telling the dog, good job, there is a real threat, you're doing what you should do and I've got your back. So one of the best things to do, and I've got a video on this, it's the 3 tips of the best way to use a leash in the home. I highly recommend that if you're getting a new dog or you have a rescue that you've just gotten, I highly recommend that you go and watch those videos or watch that video, because it talks about how to use the leash to create calm and control. So until you watch that video, one of the best things that you can do is that when you walk your dog into your home for the very first time is to just go in, whether it's the couch, whether it's a chair, whatever it might be, just go in, keep the leash on your dog and just sit. Let them take it all in. Let them take in the sights, the smells. Let their mind work it out. And that is if you have a dog that's showing timidness or fear, tail tucked, ears back and pinned. Maybe their hackles are going up on their back. Do not talk to the dog. Do not pet the dog. Ignore it other than just holding it on the leash. If the dog is trying to climb up into your lap, don't let them. If the dog is trying to get up underneath your feet or under a table or whatever it might be, don't let them. Let them know, look, I've got your back. I'm telling you, there's nothing to worry about. And when you're doing that, you're helping their brain slow down faster because you're limiting the amount of things that they have to process in the brand new environment. Now, if you've already got dogs at home, 1, 2, 3, or 4, it doesn't matter. When you bring a new dog in to a home that where you already have a dog, it's really important that if you have a male at home, don't rescue another male. If you've got a female, don't rescue another female. The reason why is because in nature, those dogs, if there's any dominance in either one of them, they're gonna try to establish leadership because you're bringing a new dog into the pack. So if you want to avoid any type of dog fights or possession aggression or anything like that, one of the best ways to go about that is to start off right by making sure that you don't put 2 males together or 2 females together. Their age can determine whether or not that's okay. So for example, if you have a new puppy, a male puppy at home, and you bring home a 2-year-old male or a 4-year-old male, more than likely you're gonna be fine in that because again, there's no real dominance in that puppy because they're not mature yet. So in this scenario, what I'm talking about is introducing mature dogs, which is gonna be basically from that 15, 17 month and on up. And lastly, don't have unrealistic expectations. When you take on a rescue from your home, you are risking harmony in your home. That's not to dissuade you, but what it should do is it should make you look into it even more on how to make sure to do it correctly and eliminate as many problems that could rise up as possible. So that way it's a great experience for you. It's a great experience for the dog. And you're doing your part in helping all of these dogs that are out there that need new homes, because to be honest, majority of them is because the people that owned them never should have had them in the first place, because it wasn't important enough for them to make sure to do everything they could to give that dog the leadership and best life possible. So if you're looking to rescue a dog or you already have, I just want to thank you so much for that. Now, I hope you've learned something from this, and I hope that it helps you be able to live the best life possible with your dog or your soon-to-be new dog. Thanks, and have a great day.